my name is Beatrice Schultes. I work with the Conference of NGOs in relation with the UN, but I'm also a representative of indigenous peoples. What I wanted to ask you, if I can, explain an action which is actually in motion right now at the Human Rights Council regarding climate change. A number of NGOs have started the action to ask for a special rapporteur for human rights and climate change, mainly motivated because of the life and death situation people are living in certain parts of the world already. So our motivation is that the human-induced climate change creates a lot of human desperation, and we are in a state of urgency. So there is this resolution will be tabled as we speak in Geneva. If it doesn't go through, it will try to be tabled again in September. We have a petition online for all those who would like to support that, and if anyone is interested, and I can give, with the email, I can send it electronically.
Well, I'll let Lord Monckton speak, but what a waste of time and effort to claim that man-made global warming is a human rights issue. It is silly, it is absurd, it is without scientific evidence. Even when you hear pieces like the Maldives, look at the sea level charts, look at the global sea level charts, there's no acceleration being shown. In some cases, according to NASA, the sea levels have dropped in recent years. It is utter and complete misuse of time and resources, and I'd urge you to reconsider your own thoughts on this.
Well, I think the climate change affects the environment, and people are forced to move. They can no more do their agriculture. You have a lot of forced migration now because of climate change, and they are not taken into consideration under the refugees. So that's why some NGOs felt, and it's not just me, there are a number of NGOs who felt that some legal structure needs to be put in place in order to take care of the situation. You can think what you want.
May I respond to this very carefully? First of all, I do think that indigenous people such as yourself, where are you in fact from?
I'm not talking from indigenous people. In Geneva, we are receiving now victims who are coming in from Bangladesh, from the Philippines, from Central America, from Africa, which are suffering these consequences, and they come in to testify.
Right. Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
The climate has been changing, whether we like it or not, for 4,567 million years. That is the age of the Earth. Climate has always changed. Displacement of human populations as a result of climate change has always occurred. The changes that are occurring in the climate at the moment are very slow and entirely manageable, and largely nothing to do with us. There is no basis, as Mr. Morano has said, for claiming that, for instance, there are refugees from Bangladesh as a result of sea level rise, because there has not been any sea level rise in Bangladesh. The sea level has actually fallen there. What there has been is some coastal erosion as a result of the clearing of mangrove swamps to allow more shrimp farms. That is an environmental disaster which the people of Bangladesh have brought upon themselves. It has nothing to do with the West. It has nothing to do with global warming. So it's very important that before one starts talking airily of every refugee that turns up on your doorstep being a refugee caused by human-induced climate change, you should study very carefully what the facts are in each individual case. I've merely taken that one example from Bangladesh as an example. We've also heard briefly from Mr. Morano about the Maldives and sea level rise. The last places on the planet to be affected adversely by sea level rise are coral atolls, because the corals grow to meet the light. It is not some amazing coincidence that all the coral atolls are more or less exactly at sea level after 130 meters of sea level rise over the last 11,400 years. It is because those corals have grown to meet the light. That is why when the UN predicted confidently 10 years ago at one of these conferences that there would be 50 million climate refugees by the year 2010, there basically haven't been any. This is a problem which has been grossly distorted, grossly exaggerated, and there is absolutely no place for any such organization or resolution as that which you are wishing to put forward. You can put it forward all you like. It's not going to make any difference. We in the Western countries are no longer buying this storyline. We now require proper scientific evidence and not mere computer predictions. Again, to take one example, the computer predictions said that the rate of increase in the heat content of the ocean, which is what causes sea level rise, would be 4.5 times what they have actually proven to be. And in the last 8 years, according to the Envisat satellite, the only satellite that was capable of giving us real-time or near real-time information on sea level rise, the sea level has risen at a rate equivalent to 3 centimeters per century. So I do not expect to see many climate refugees from sea level rise. And the fact is, it's time to get back to the science and the data and to get away from these futile, childish computer predictions and to do science once again in the proper way, where we take measurements, we do careful observations, we apply existing theory to the results to develop a new theory, and then we think. The words "I believe" have no place in science. The words "I wonder" are what inspires science. We must learn to get back to that and not any longer to listen to those who are making a great deal of money by exploiting people such as yourself and misleading them into thinking that a problem that does not exist on the scale that has been stated does exist on that scale. It doesn't, and it isn't going to. Get used to it.